We're on a busy road, as you can see, just outside Bury St Edmunds, little village called Bradfield Combust, and there's the pub. Look, there's a pub there, a lovely pub, and next to it is the Church of All Saints. Oh, let's go inside and have a look and get away from this traffic. Right, well, we've got lots of heavy traffic, motorbikes, cars and lorries coming by behind us, but here there's a little haven here of peacefulness. We've got a bench here, look, and there's the pub, the Manger. Got a little bench that you can sit behind the hedge here, not far from the pub. I guess you can get yourself a pint and come and sit here. And what would you see? Oh, look at this lovely church, look. Now there again, we've got two obviously separate buildings. One is presumably the original church, and the other is an additional one to enlarge the whole building. We'll have a look around and get a better idea of what we're looking at when we go down the side of it, I think. Got very mature trees here. I think we'll have a look over underneath those trees. So here we've got a small avenue of trees, and 4 lovely trees actually. This is beautiful under here, look. We're very fortunate the sun's come out now, and look at all the different shadows and the light, the shapes the light is making on the lawn. Oh, and look over there, isn't that beautiful? Look, what a lovely scene. Lovely old headstone here. In the memory of Caroline, the beloved of George Fayers, sorry. Like some digging's been going on here. Looks like some animal's been at work here, digging holes in the churchyard. Look at these wonderful headstones here. This is absolutely fabulous. James Olson. They're just fabulous here, look. Look at this. We've got a hedge here running along the edge of the graveyard, and beyond it are houses. But here, under this tree, there's just a massive headstones, massive graves. These are very impressive here. Look, what does this say?
In memory of John Green, late of this parish, who died in 1834, aged 80 years. 80 years.
Oh, let's see. It won't be long before that's a 200-year-old grave. Oh, and the sun's coming out even stronger now. Look at the shadows on those headstones. Look at that. We're underneath this magnificent tree. I mean, look, just have to look around. Everywhere you look is a picture that you could just paint it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Ah, and there's the church. Look at that. What a lovely scene. There's not much I can say, really. I think the picture says it all. This fantastic tree. This tree is just unbelievable. That's one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. And we just come out of the shade of this tree and into the sunlight. We find still more old headstones. They're just magnificent. James Sturgeon. Look at that scene over there. Isn't that fabulous? It's my favourite. I always say this, but it's my favourite scene and pictures to look at all these array of headstones where they've all aged and they're all full of patina and they're leaning all different ways, and the trees are all mature and the sun shining through the trees. The leaves flutter in the breeze and cast shadows everywhere, and every single thing you look at is beautiful. How can a graveyard be considered so awful by some people? It's a fabulous place. Look at this. George Pettit, 1921. Mary Ann, wife of Hubbard. Strange names. 1899. And here at the end where the church ends, the boundary is marked by a wire fence, and beyond it is a little copse or a little wood. So we're back into the shade again. We'll just come round and try and have a look at this church and see what we actually have here. Well, oh, and we've got a wheelie bin. Every church we go to, always a wheelie bin. What a beautiful church. Look at this. We've got a bell tower with a real bell. Looks like something out of a Spanish movie. That's a window. This looks like it may have had some repair or maybe some alterations at this end. My guess is that this was here first, and then the second building was built with the bell tower. But obviously that is just a guess and I don't know, and hopefully somebody could tell me the reality of it. Over in this corner here we've got a little modern wooden shed for the gardening implements, I guess. And we look up again at that tower with that bell. That's absolutely fabulous. Look at that. I mean, just beautiful. Look at them. And the arch. That's fabulous. And there's a little porch or something down there. Just have a look and see what that is. That's a little extension here at the side of the church. It's not a porch as I thought. And here we've got a stained glass window, which there again looks as if it's been added later when there was something else there. A different shaped window, I guess. And then a little door here. There again, looks as if that's been altered. And that one's bricked in anyway, or flinted in. And look at the variation in all this wall. We've got flint and brick, and the section that's been repaired. I don't know, this looks very old. Maybe this was the original building. I've probably got this wrong actually. This does look pretty old here. We walk back round here to go into the church, and just before we do, I just spotted this unusual headstone that's worth having a little look at. That is really delightful. The scroll sitting on top of a great big pile of stones. And it's George William Butcher, and he died September 1918 by the look of it. We come up to this absolutely beautiful porch in wood, little light above, no doorway, open to the elements, and a big foot scraper, big stone floor with some matting, little benches to sit on, no glass, simple wooden ceiling, not clad, and there's the entrance. So let's have a look, see if we can get in. Ah, that opens. Well, look at this little place. I think we've got some lights here, look. I think maybe we'll see if they work. Ah, now we have light. Well, this is unusual, isn't it? Two little steps will go down. Got a matted floor to walk on. That's very soft and quiet. Then immediately to our left, oh look at that stained glass window. Ah, it's amazing. Oh, it's fabulous, fabulous. And all the walls are painted, and there again all the stone edging's been left like that, so you can see it, and it's just beautiful. Turn over here, and on this side we have another equally beautiful but much smaller stained glass window set in a deep alcove. And then here's the font. It's quite low actually, this font. Very handy for babies. Oh, and look, a little cover. Another one of my favourites, these candles, which I like. Decoration on them. So if we walk over here, we've got some information which I'm going to see if I can film. Whether it will come out, I'm not sure. Now we'll just take a few steps over here, in this very small chapel-like church, and we've come across this fabulous little organ. It's just magnificent. Look at it. You couldn't have a better organ for a church like this. What does this say? Does this say something about it? It's got beautiful painted pipes, and they're set in almost a cabinet, and it's just so compact. It's really, really nice. Then next to it we've got a leaded window with plain glass letting in some of the light that this church really needs. And here, well, we've got a wall painting Look at that. Let's see what this plaque says. Well, that painting up there is just fabulous. That looks like a knight on horseback. Must have been magnificent when, I guess most of these churches, or all of them, had paintings on the walls. And of course they were all destroyed or painted over, I guess at the time of the Reformation. And here we've got looks like a war memorial. Stand here halfway up the church actually, and we can see that another beautiful stained glass window is behind the altar. Immediately to our left here is another couple of plaques on the wall. That's the 1939-1945 war. That of course is the 1914, and as this church lists it, the 1919 war. Closer here to the pulpit, which is in this sort of cast stone effect. These, I think, I guess, are not that old. And there's a lovely little window that to me looks very Victorian. It's lovely actually, and look at the candles there, they're just beautiful. These pulpits are beautiful. They are cast though, but the effect is wonderful. They look really impressive. Deep carving. And then we've got here one step up, and we find we've got a beautiful design on the floor here. That's really nice. I like that. It's got a little aisle leading up the middle. And it's in black and red and cream tiles, little edging ones. That's lovely. Walk a bit further and little candle holders here on the edge, and little door that goes to that little extension at the side. And there's the most magnificent memorial. Look at that. Just in front of the altar here. Just looking at that magnificent window, which is actually made even greater because the impact it has in this church being so small. The lighting is so restricted with just simply a few plain windows and then the rest being stained. So the light that does come through this seems to just glow. That window is almost alive. Two vases, little flowers in them, simple wooden cross. Here on the right, another beautiful stained glass window, which let's just go over and have a look at. That is lovely. That's a very, very delicate. I just love that. And just you see the light coming through here, how lovely it is. And a little candle here. And then we stand here. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Our backs to the altar and look down. That looks like the only plain glass window in the church. And the glow coming from my left is actually the stained glass windows, but also the couple of lights that we've put on. So we walk back down this short little aisle here, and we step down into the area where these chairs are, which act as pews, so they're covered over and obviously laid out when required. Lovely ceiling up there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There's an old oil lamp here that's fixed to one of the columns. And a little piece of cloth here, probably to stop you banging your head. So we'll be careful. This little chapel area here, we've another stained glass window. And just look, isn't that fabulous? Lovely, sweet little alcove there. And look at this window. Oh, look at the sun shining through that. That's just glorious, isn't that? So I've just turned the lights off, and I'm just looking at these stained glass windows, and you can see the light coming through. I mean, this one here is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Look at that. Reflections. I don't know how bright the sun is out there, but that's fabulous. And then here we've got another two, of course. And it's so quiet in here because of all this floor that's carpeted. One of the most magnificent churches that I've seen. Beautiful little place. So we walk back out of that fantastic experience into another one. I mean, we're back out in this churchyard again, which is home to this tree, the like of which I haven't seen before, I don't think. It's massive. And the birds are singing. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Just a pity this road is so close. Down through this short little avenue of trees. Oh, and lorries going by. That's so sad. But never fear. We have a pub near. There we are, the Manger. I'd recommend it. Well, that's the most incredible church of All Saints in Bradfield Combust. I certainly recommend that church to anyone who wants to see a magnificent Suffolk church. It is small.